From Trash to Treasure, a story of redemption. The early morning fog clung to the streets of Awad, an eerie stillness over the scene. Among the bustling crowd of merchants setting up their stalls, a young man named Jide moved silently, unnoticed. He was a merchant, wore tattered clothes and smeared across his face, a stark contrast to the vibrant life surrounding him. For months, Jide had lived on the streets, scavenging through trash, picking up discarded food and broken items to survive. Life had dealt him a cruel hand. Once upon a time, Jide had been full of hope. He came from a small village where his parents struggled to make ends meet. Determined to lift his family out of poverty, Jide moved to the city with dreams of becoming successful. But life in the city wasn't what he expected. With no formal education or skills, he found it difficult to secure a job. His once burning hope dwindled with every rejection he faced. Desperation drove Jide to make decisions he would regret. One night, hungry and hopeless, he stole food from a local vendor. He was caught and severely beaten by the angry merchant. From that day on, no one in the market trusted him, and he became known as the Trash Boy, an outcast with no future. But Jide didn't know that his story was far from over. In the shadows, someone had been watching him. An elderly man, known only as Baba Femi, was a frequent visitor to the market. He was a wealthy, mysterious figure who seldom spoke but was respected by everyone. Baba Femi had noticed Jide's plight and saw something in him that others didn't, a spark of determination hidden beneath the layers of despair. One cold evening, as Jide rummaged through a pile of trash behind the market, a firm but gentle voice called out to him. "Young man," Baba Femi said, stepping out from the shadows. "Why do you live this way?" Startled, Jide turned, expecting to be shooed away or scolded. But there was no anger in Baba Femi's eyes, only compassion. "I have no choice," Jide replied bitterly. "I'm trash to everyone. This is all I have." Baba Femi looked deep into Jide's eyes and said something that shook him to his core. "What is discarded by men may be treasured by God. What if I told you that you were never meant to live like this? That you are destined for something greater?" Jide felt a lump in his throat. No one had ever spoken to him that way. Suspense gripped him. Was this old man serious, or was it just another cruel joke? Without waiting for a response, Baba Femi handed Jide a small, dusty wooden box. "Open it," he said softly. With trembling hands, Jide opened the box to reveal a set of old, rusty tools, a hammer, pliers, and some nails. Confusion clouded his face. "What am I supposed to do with these?" Baba Femi smiled. "These tools may look like junk, but in the right hands, they can create something beautiful. It's the same with you. You may feel broken, but you still have value." And with that, Baba Femi left, leaving Jide with the tools and a heart full of questions. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Jide started practicing with the tools, unsure of what he was doing at first. But as he spent more time fixing broken items he found in the trash, something incredible began to happen. People in the market noticed his skill. He repaired broken chairs, tables, and toys for the local merchants, and they paid him for his work. Slowly but surely, Jide's reputation changed. He was no longer the trash boy but the talented craftsman. His hands, once dirty from scavenging, became the hands of a creator. Word spread about his work, and soon he was earning enough money to move out of the streets and rent a small workshop. But the suspense wasn't over. Just when Jide thought his life was turning around, tragedy struck. A fire broke out in the market one night, destroying most of his workshop and everything he had built. Devastated, Jide ashes. If he was truly cursed, had all his efforts been for nothing? It was then that Baba Femi reappeared. The old man placed a hand on Jide's shoulder. "Do you remember what I told you? What men discard, God treasures. Defined by your circumstances." Jide looked up with tears in his eyes. "I've lost everything. Again." "No," Baba Femi said softly, "you haven't. You still have your hands, your heart, and your faith. The greatest treasures are not material things, but the lessons we learn in the fire. Jide took those words to heart. Instead of giving up, he rebuilt from scratch. This time, he didn't just repair items for others. He started teaching young boys in the market how to use the tools and create something from nothing. His workshop became a place of learning and hope. Years later, Jide became a renowned artisan, known throughout the city for his skill and generosity. He employed dozens of people, many of whom had once been like him, outcasts, dismissed by society, struggling to survive. His journey from the streets to success inspired everyone who knew him. But Jide never forgot the lesson Baba Femi taught him. Treasure is not found in gold or jewels, but in the hearts of those who rise from the ashes, who turn their pain into purpose, and who understand that no one is truly trash in the eyes of God. And every time Jide opened that old wooden box with the rusty tools, he smiled, knowing that from the most unlikely of places, treasures are born.